As I bent down to pick up the chopstick, I suddenly noticed my neighbor's fingernails were on the inside of her fingers. At that moment, a chill ran down my spine and my whole body trembled. My neighbor offered me a skewer. I immediately sensed something was off about her, but not wanting to seem suspicious, I took it. I looked at my boyfriend, signaling that we needed to leave. Now. But unexpectedly, my neighbor noticed everything. The next moment, the clear sky was suddenly covered in clouds. Just as everyone started packing up to leave, the old man from the neighboring building looked at me and said something strange. Nurse? Nurse? Why aren't you leaving? Get out of here now. If you don't leave now, it'll be too late. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say, because I had never told anyone anything about my job, but I didn't think much of it. I just figured it must be a coincidence. The next day, I was terrified when I saw that my neighbor had two shadows. I jumped up and whipped around to look, but she was standing alone at the door. My heart was pounding, overcome with fear. I made up an excuse and got out of there as fast as I could. When I told my boyfriend what happened, he said, if there are two light sources, then there will be two shadows. But I knew for a fact there were no lights on in that room. The only light was the sunlight coming from outside. To test his theory, I knocked on my neighbor's door that evening. I glanced down at the floor. This time, she only had one shadow. Suddenly, the light in the room went out. My neighbor explained it was a problem with the wiring, but I sensed the real reason was something else. Terrified, I went back to my apartment. I had just managed to get into bed when suddenly a figure appeared outside my window. It was calling my name. I went closer to look, but there was no one there. The most terrifying part is, I lived on the 18th floor.